So after John Cena's very underwhelming heel turn and R-Truth's very fucking joke of a heel turn, there's been talks. I mean, even before John Cena turned heel and before R-Truth turned heel, there's been talks about Cody Rhodes like he needs to turn heel. And like several different stars have talked about, like retired stars have talked about how he should turn heel. It's been a thing people have been saying for a while now, and I think as far as Cody turning heel, like he's talked about this about how it's probably going to happen soon. And honestly, I don't think it should because if for anything, looking at how it's weird because it seems like WWE they're good at least at the beginning of heel turns. Like they seem to be able to make good initial heel turns. Like when our True first turned heel, it was fantastic. When John Cena turned as a heel, it was fantastic. But then as far as like maintaining a good heel run, it seems like they're not too good at that. Like it seems like it just kind of fucking dies out and just becomes a fucking shit show or just a complete disappointment. And with Cody, the other main problem is if because Cody is like the face of the company. He is the baby face of WWE right now. And the problem is if you turn him heel, I have no idea who you replace him with because like looking at the roster right now, I don't know who could be that like Cody to Cena. Like when Cena turned heel, Cody was the face of the company, and he was the baby. He was the baby face of the company. So you had that major good guy that was also positioned as the guy to be able to take on Cena as the bad guy. So if Cody turns heel, I don't really know who you would have that could like really take his place as a de facto face of the company that's the good guy. And like so then you have the problem of like the void of like not having a major baby face like Cody. And also like I feel like it just would not work right now because also we've been through back to back heel turns from Cena to R Truth. Like it's just been back to back to back. The Rock turned heel. But, I mean, he's been heel on off the last few years, but it's just we've had too many fucking heel turns back to back. And I mean, coming off the heels of no pun intended, Cena being a bad guy, and then our Truth being a bad guy for a cup of coffee. Then like having Cody Rhodes turn, and be like, okay, this is kind of fucking ridiculous. Like I feel like you should at least keep him as a baby face for another. I'd say like the rest of the year. Like turn him heel. Once the problem is for me is like I think they need to build the face like the new like main baby face of the company. And then like once they get them established, then you can turn Cody heel. Because like as it is now, like I don't know who would be the replacement for Cody as the de facto baby face of the company. I mean, and I mean I guess you could say maybe hell, I don't even know. I can't even think of anyone. Like, I mean, at one point people would have said maybe Sammy, but I mean that's fucking come and gone. That the chance of him being anything like of a major star, that's just kind of fucking past. And as far as I can see, I can't really see anyone. I mean, maybe you could have CM Punk, but like again, CM Punk, he's older at this point. He's more near the end of his career than he is the beginning. Like I feel like you need like a up and coming fresh face who's going to be there for a while. Like not an old guy, not someone who came out of retirement, not someone who's been fucking heel and babyface back and forth for like 20 years. Like a new young up and coming person who they're going to invest as the new face of the company, someone who they see as like the long term future for the company. Because I mean, let's be honest, Cody Rhodes, he's not a old guy. He's not a young guy either. He's kind of like in the in between where I mean, Cody will probably be in the company for at least a few more years. I don't see him leaving for a while, but I don't see him being around like as far as like 10 years from now, 15 years from now. I don't know. And this might be a little bit of a wild take, but honestly, I look at Cody and I look at him and I see him at some point kind of taking the political route. I don't know, like I don't. Whenever I hear him talk and I just look at him, he just strikes me as someone who would want to, at some point, when his career is over, or like near the end of his career, he would just want to get into politics and kind of leave wrestling behind, kind of like how Glenn Jacobs did. How he was Kane for the longest for pretty much his entire run in WWE and WWF, and then now he's fully in politics. And when I look at Cody, I feel like that's probably the route he's going to take at some point. That he'll probably either get into politics or he'll like kind of take the Triple H route where he'll end up becoming like a behind the scenes producer, kind of like head of creative almost, or like some major creative force behind the scenes. Like I feel like he probably is more likely to do that within the next 5 to 10 years than like really staying as an active person on the roster. Like I don't see, I really find it hard to see Cody being a main like full time roster member 5 to 10 years from now. I feel like he might be a part time guy. He probably will end up like Roman Reigns. Like Roman Reigns, I mean, I know he's retiring. I think he says he's gonna Roman Reigns was talking about retiring at next WrestleMania. But like Roman Reigns for a while now, he's been like pretty much like a part time guy. Like he'll show up every now and then, but then he's off like filming movies, filming shows, doing his own thing. So like Roman shows up once a blue moon now. He's not, I mean, he hasn't been full time for a while now. Like even when he was the tribal king, or the tribal chief. Like well, I mean, yeah, he was there a lot, but like even then, there were times where like he wasn't there a lot. And I mean, it worked for it. I mean, it worked, for the bloodline storyline. But I kind of look at Cody the same way. Where like I feel like he'll probably be just a part time or just like an occasional show up when they need like a ratings boost. But I don't think he'll be on the roster that long. And I guess it also kind of makes it where you want to kind of fast track a heel turn because like if he's not going to be there for a few more years, like if he's only going to be there for a few more years, you might want to turn him heel. But I feel like you can hold off for you. I don't think the fans are in a rush to turn him heel either. Like I think that's the other main thing is because we've seen this when the company turns people heel or babyface and the fans aren't on board with it's a fucking disaster. It just becomes a shit show. I mean, when they first turned Roman way back when the Shield just broke up and Vince was trying to like make Roman into what the fans didn't want. It didn't work because the fans didn't like it, and Vince and the company was trying to push Roman as the guy when at that time how they were trying to push him, fans did not like it, and it didn't work, and it didn't work for a long time. And I mean, Roman Reigns, I mean, his career wasn't like buried. He wasn't buried, or his career was fucking derailed, but it stagnated him. Like, I mean, if they had just naturally went with what the fans how they were reacting with him, he would have took off far quicker than he would have if they had like just kept him in that fucking Looney Tunes suffering succotash fucking era that Vince was on with the goddamn nursery rhymes. And like with Cody, I feel like it's the same thing where like if you try to make him heel before the fans want him to turn heel, it'll just end up being a disaster because the thing with like Truth and the thing with like Cena is that those were heel turns that people have been waiting for Cena to turn heel for God, like what, 15 years now? Like it's pretty much like when it comes to wrestling, this was like one of the most like desired and requested things is for Cena to become a heel. And for a very long time, most people didn't think it would ever happen. Like we got close to it, I think like a decade plus ago. I think after one of the WrestleManias with The Rock, I think Cena talked about this, where like he was on board with becoming a heel, but then like Vince at the last second got cold feet and pulled the plug on it. But like this has been something the fans have wanted, and like also, I mean, yeah, Cena, his gimmick works for him, but like people had gotten tired of it. They're like, okay, hustle low to respect. You've been doing this for fucking ever. Like, do something different. Like, become the bad guy. Like, become the Homelander to the Superman. So like people were wanting him to become heel. And like with R-Truth, I mean, R-Truth, I don't think people realize that R-Truth has been around for a very long time. It's just like he's a fucking vampire. The dude never ages. Like he's what, like in his 50s. He does not look like in his 50s. You would think he's like 30s, mid 40s, like early 40s. The dude doesn't age. Like he looks nearly the same with just like a slight bit of difference now than he did like back in the 90s. Like it's kind of crazy how much he has not changed, but by and large, R-Truth has been playing the same comedic slapstick character forever. So like when he turned heel, it was refreshing. People are like, yeah, this is cool. Like we want this. Like people were on board with a heel R-Truth. This is different. This is new. This is something we hadn't seen from R-Truth. But with Cody, I think the fans still love him as a babyface. And I mean, I feel like also, at least for me, I've been mixed on how Cody has been like handled as far as like a champion, the main guy. My other problem is like I feel like they like when it comes to him being a champion as like a babyface champion, he just like I mean yeah he was an okay champion, but I feel like he just was kind of just disappointing in a lot of ways. Like I feel like he really wasn't as good of a champion, not because he's not good, but I just feel like how he was portrayed and like how they kind of like used him as a champion wasn't the best. And so like I feel like he should at least have like another, I don't know when he's gonna get the championship again, but like I feel like he should at least have like another run as like as a baby face, as a champion. And then you can like once he loses a champ, like I want him to have like a really good dominant reign as champion. And then you can have him turn heel. And then like but while you have him as champion, you can spend that time building the next big baby face that you can position as the future of the company. And then you can have Cody turn heel. And then pretty much like you could have, depending on like if you have him as a babyface for like a year or two, depending on how long Cody wants to be in the company full time. Because like if Cody wants to leave, or he's like wanting to do other things outside of wrestling, or he's like not wanting to be in ring full time, then you can easily line it up to where like he loses the championship, then like he turns heel either shortly after or a little bit after. You can have a feud for a year plus or so, then you can have it conclude at WrestleMania. You have Cody put the new babyface over. You have him go away, and now you put your new babyface, and now they're the champion, and it works out. I think that's the route to go because I feel like if they try to make him a heel right now, first of all, I just don't know who they would have that could like be that major babyface future of the company that could like actually have that like back and forth feud of him. So like, first of all, they need to build up his replacement, build up who they are going to have as a replacement. I mean, maybe Braun Breaker, but I don't know. Like he's doing something else completely separate from I mean, like he's like definitely been positioned as being like he is going to be like I feel like Braun Breaker at some point is going to be the guy. I just don't know if it's going to be like in the next year or two. Like I think definitely at some point down the road he will be a major player. Like he'll be one of the top guys, if not the top guy. I just don't think it's going to be happening in the next few years. And honestly, when I look at just the overview of the roster, I'm not sure who like they're who the company's like really looking at, is like trying to position them, and like also like there's so many fucking people on the roster. I don't know who they'd want to position as like being the new young. I mean, I'm not talking about as like CM Punk or someone like that, like someone young, because I feel like you can get more mileage out of having a young up and coming baby face. Because then you can have Cody once he turns heel. And I mean, you could even have it where he is still. You could have it be like at the end of his reign, or you could like split it where he's like a baby face for half his run, then he becomes a baby or becomes a heel, and then if you want to, you could do like the best of both worlds almost, where you have Cody turn heel, and then you are able to build up the new babyface even more for him, beating Cody, who is the top guy. Then you have him being for the championship. And, so now you have a newly built champion who is now, the top guy who beat Cody Rhodes. And now you have your new face of the company. I think that would work because as it stands, like I was saying, like Cody, I don't think he's going to be there full time a few years from now. Like I feel like he's more kind of near the end, and like Cody's kind of, it seems like he's kind of talked about this, like how he's like kind of more towards the end of his career than he is the beginning part. And it seems like I really feel like he seems to be someone who wants to do outside things more than wrestling. Like I mean, I definitely think he loves wrestling. I mean, obviously he's grown up in wrestling. His father, is pretty much most of his family's been in wrestling. But I feel like as the years go on, pretty much like this is kind of a wrestling tradition. Like I feel like once you become the guy, you just end up leaving wrestling. Whether you look at The Rock, whether you look at Cena, whether you look at Roman Reigns, it's just like the natural cycle of like once you become the guy and you've been the guy for a while. And fun enough, once you become heel, because Cena became a heel. I mean, obviously, that happened way after he left, but you get the point. Cena turned heel, Rock turned heel, Roman turned heel. And Cody will probably turn heel at some point. So it's kind of like a champion tradition of like once you become the face of the company and you reach your peak, then you leave the company or you become like a part-time guy or a guy that shows up once in a while. And then, the new guy comes up and replaces you, when Rock left Cena, when Cena left Roman left now Cody, and whoever's after Cody. So it definitely is. It's an interesting cycle how that goes. I mean, even like people that aren't like the main guy, like Batista and people like that, have gone on to go into Hollywood. So it seems like once you've like kind of gone as far as you can in wrestling, you kind of just like naturally go into something else. And I definitely can see that for Cody. But those are just my overall thoughts of Cody and him potentially turning heel. And what, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I definitely, I think he will be a heel. Like, I think he will be a heel, maybe not this year, next year. My only other problem with Cody turning heel is I just looking at how they just fuck. I mean, Cena even talked about is how they fucking just botched Cena's heel turn. One of the most iconic, one of the most significant heel turns in wrestling history, John Cena. They fucking shit the bed on it. And then they fumbled our true heel turn. And so, to be honest, I'm not really like too hopeful that they're going to be able to do justice with Cody Rhodes as a heel. Like, they might have a good initial heel turn because like Cena had a good initial heel turn and our Truth had an initial good heel turn. But as far as like a full heel run, I don't know. Like, I don't. I'm not kind of hopeful after how they fucking mishandled Cena and our Truth. Kind of doesn't give me a lot of hope for them really doing justice with Cody Rhodes. But those are just my kind of brief thoughts on Cody and him turning heel. And with that said, I'm going to call it a day here, and I will see you good people later.